That's today's news from Medie, where residents along the Pokwase Insawoma Highway construction zone are being forced to evacuate their homes after years of flooding caused by blocked drainage systems. The flooding is the result of obstructed natural waterways from ongoing construction, leaving homes and streets submerged. Residents say repeated appeals to authorities have gone unanswered. My colleague, Medie was there and has come through this report.
And this is the problem. Come and see. And it's really hurt.
Medie is a town struggling with persistent water stagnation due to the absence of a proper drainage system. Mosquito infestation and waterborne diseases have become a daily reality for residents. This is not a naturally waterlogged area, but a community deprived of functional waterways, preventing rainwater and liquid waste from flowing freely.
They promise us, and up to now, because every time people will be calling you, Mr. Joe, come, and this is the problem, come and see. And it's really hurt.
Over the years, stagnant water has made living conditions unbearable, forcing many residents to abandon their homes.
This is a deserted house taken over by weeds. Across the compound are sacks filled with sand serving as a bridge for the neighbor behind this house to be able to get through. People do not live in this house not just because they evacuated, but because they died. 2 years ago, a flooding that occurred in the area claimed the life of a 3-month-old baby. Some months afterwards, the baby's parents also died due to an infection caused by the stagnant water. Nana Kwesi Bedu is a landlord. He says he can no longer rent out rooms in his house because of the situation. This is supposed to be a compound house where people live. Yet, more than half of the compound has been taken over by water, duckweed, and algae. Here are blocks the people step on to be able to move on this compound.
We've
really struggled going back and forth. We really expected them to construct a drainage system for us. I told to save to build this house, but look at how water is destroying it. We really plead with authorities to come to our aid.
So this is where we have to pass, just so we could get into his place. We had to pass behind the plants and then step on blocks on the compound because it's so full of water.
2,000. Serious. Up to now,
Joseph Akoto, a resident of Medie, describes the worsening conditions and appeals to authorities to intervene.
So we are pleading. We know the government is a listening government, and we are pleading to his aid to come to our aid and help us.
The assemblyman for the area, Joseph Niankra, says several efforts to resolve the problem have failed. He is calling for the construction of a proper drainage system to bring relief to the community.
Me being an assembly member, I have written to feeder roads and urban roads for them to come to our aid with this drainage system because Medie is a community that is facing serious flooding issue. So we are appealing with them to come to our aid. Other than that, people will continue to suffer. People have lost their properties due to this flooding. So we are pleading with them to come to our end and construct a proper drainage system for us.
While some residents have been able to relocate, those without the means to leave remain trapped in these harsh conditions, battling mosquitoes and infections daily. For Joy News, Medie.
Well, that's a beautiful report put together by Adubia Asari. And we'll keep tabs on that area to find out how residents are coping. Now, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority is set to release the 2026 DV number plate from Monday ahead of parliamentary approval. The rollout will also precede the full implementation of the controversial RFID-enabled vehicle number plate system. The authority says the release of the DV plate forms part of transitional arrangement while processes continue toward the rollout of the new vehicle registration regime. Michelle Latte has more.
Beginning Monday, the 2026 DV number plates will start rolling out, marking a step forward as the DVLA awaits parliamentary approval for the full implementation of the RFID-enabled vehicle registration system. Addressing a press conference, the Director of Driver Training, Testing and Licensing at the DVLA, Kafui Semefo, said the plates will continue to use the old registration format even as preparations advance for the new system. According to him, the plates will be issued exclusively to fleet dealers and not to individual vehicle owners.
We announced before the beginning of this year that there is some grace period. However, we also said that because the process to amend the law is not completed, the old law is still in existence, we asked for some grace period. We are releasing the DV plates by Monday. We have gone ahead to continue with the old format of registration, so those who want to register are actually registering. So we have not deprived the public the opportunity to use their vehicles or to register.
The DVLA also urged vehicle owners to take part in the ongoing nationwide onboarding exercise as the authority prepares to introduce the new vehicle registration system. It warned that from 2027 onward, vehicles that have not been onboarded and pre-registered will not be permitted to operate on the road.
Now, when we start the new number plate, it's going to run up to the end of 2027, when we are expecting to have roll on everybody into the new system. So if beyond 2027 you've not done onboarding and re-registered your vehicle, then we cannot be on the roads. So we are encouraging you. For now, we don't have a deadline for onboarding. It's an ongoing process. We are encouraging everybody to take advantage of our offices and then visit the office and get your vehicle onboarded.
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of DVLA, Julius Nikwe Kote, disclosed that the authority has received clearance from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to undertake the issuance of licenses in 5 countries.
Just yesterday, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, signed for the DVLA to undertake this project in 5 countries. These are the countries. We have the United States of America, United Kingdom, we have Canada, Germany, and Netherlands. So these 5 countries will witness DVLA's presence. So I will do license issues over there for them.
The DVLA says these measures form part of efforts to modernize vehicle registration, strengthen road safety, and streamline operations. For Joy News, Michelle Lati.
Well, access to potable water in 8 communities within the Ekumfi district of the Central Region is expected to improve significantly following a sword cutting ceremony for the construction of 8 mechanized boreholes. The initiative, led by the Member of Parliament and the District Chief Executive, Ismail Nana Asamoah, forms part of projects under the District Assembly's Common Fund aimed at addressing pressing developmental needs in the area.
Mama kind aya na yenyinara ya bo modern na yedempabo that honorable nature.
For Tuam, Accra, Isacho, and 7 other beneficiary communities in the Ekumfi district of the Central Region, the sword cutting ceremony for a 3-unit classroom block, a 2-unit classroom block, and 8 mechanized boreholes represents renewed hope for improved access to quality education and portable water. According to the District Chief Executive for Ekumfi, Ismail Nana Asamoah, the projects are being undertaken under the government's formulae for the utilization of the District Assembly's Common Fund, aimed at addressing critical developmental needs at the grassroots level.
We've been working closely on sanitation issues, and by the grace of God, significantly we've improved the sanitation issues in the district. And projects are not just cited, and they are not just based on community promises. They go through rudimentary
more or less selection processes. And so wherever we've gone, you heard the chiefs applauding the project because that is actually a project they have been long yearning for. And so today is definitely a very, very significant. And for the very, very first time, rather in 4 years, Ekumfi never saw close to 1 million Ghana cedis in the entire 4 years. But just 8 or a little even into 9 months in office, this NDC government has bequeathed into the Ekumfi Assembly close to over 10 million Ghana cedis. And so this is definitely something that is worth applauding.
Activities for the day also saw the Member of Parliament for Ekumfi, Othni Olekokwenu, inspecting the ongoing expansion works on the Ekumfi Sachur Bridge being executed under government's big push agenda. He lauded government for the intervention.
This is a very important bridge which has lasted for over 30 years. And today, the big push has finally come with a view of creating another bridge in addition to this old one, because this one has served a very important purpose. It serves a lot of communities, to Ejumako, to Enyan, to Kumasi. All those people use this road. The government has seen the essence and the need to reconstruct a new bridge to help the traveling public to be able to go smoothly. I, as MP for Ekumfi, I want to thank the President sincerely for this marvelous work he's doing. In fact, Mr. President, you are doing so much for Ghana and Ekumfi, and I believe that this is just the beginning and just the tip of the iceberg. We are grateful for today, and we thank especially Dr. Kesela Tufosi, who also is my neighboring constituency, for this beautiful work that is also contributing to make happen.
From Ekumfi, Abigail Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
So the Volta region now, where road network of the Southern District in the region is expected to see a facelift following the awarding of contract to various firms under the Big Push project. Approximately 24 kilometers of feeder roads in the district have been awarded and are currently under construction, while an additional 40 kilometers will be packaged and awarded for construction under the second phase of the road rehabilitation project. We've captured more in this report by Fred Kwame Asari.
The Member of Parliament for South Dine and Majority Chief Whip, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekpo, led officials of the Ghana Highways Authority to inspect the progress of work on the 17.7 kilometers to Dumekpali-Mejameni roads. The team also inspected works on the 6.3 kilometers of roads in the Mejameni Township, which would see the clearing of some structures erected in areas demarcated for roads. Mr. Dafiamekpo appreciated the progress of work by Messiah Senam Ghana Limited and emphasized the significant contribution of good roads to economic development.
The transformation. This is what we call transformation. Everybody wants his neighborhood transformed. And when the neighborhoods are transformed, he has, in development studies, we call them growth poles. They have their way of attracting other developmental projects themselves. When there's a good road, tourism facilities spring up. People build hotels, they build restaurants, they build guest houses, they build good hospitals because the roads are in a good shape. So
he disclosed that some 40 kilometers of road networks in the district would also be awarded under the second phase of the Big Push project.
We are doing. So the phase 2 of this project will be Chate to Chibu, 5 kilometers. Then Kweve to Kweve Tonu, that is the Kweve headwaters, also 5 kilometers. Then we'll do a Num to Jake, it's also 5 kilometers. And then Gemenia JB. So, we are going to do then Pekitan roads, and then Abui, Chita, so, and then 2 town roads, Dugan town roads, Atoklokpo, Chinese road, Toduma itself, the Palace road for Togwe, Yeku, then Pekitan roads, about 10 kilometers in all. So we are going to have another 40 kilometers of the phase 2. This is 24 kilometers, but the phase 2 will be about 40 kilometers.
The district chief executive for South Dine stressed the government's promise to open up the country with good road networks.
And to thank the government, His Excellency the President, and the good people of South Dine for their patience. This road has been in a terrible situation for a long time now, like my MP said. But thank God, with the coming of GN, just barely a year ago, we have all seen what has been done so far. I want to commend the contractor. I've always been with them. They are doing a good job. And it's our prayer that by the close of this year, the people of South Dine will heave a sigh of relief for the construction of this road. So
residents are in anticipation of the economic prospects and trade opportunities that will be available when the roads are completed. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Todume.
Now, Ghana is moving to scale up its health security systems as it targets an upgrade from the World Health Organization's Level 3 preparedness rating, following findings from the World Health Organization-led assessment that highlighted both progress made and critical gaps in the country's readiness to respond to public health emergencies. The latest findings were disclosed at the opening of a 3-day workshop here in Accra. The assessment forms part of the joint external evaluation, a voluntary process under the international health regulations that measures countries' capacities to prevent, detect, and respond to public health threats. Rodelina Bensa has more in this report.
Held under the theme Prioritization Workshop on the National Action Plan for Health Security, the workshop brought together key health sector stakeholders to review preparedness levels and agree on priority actions to strengthen the country's response systems. Speaking in an interview, Infectious Hazard Management Officer at the World Health Organization, Patrick Avevo, revealed that of the 90 technical areas assessed in Ghana's latest joint external evaluation, about 50% are now at level 3, up from 40% in the previous evaluation.
We have seen improvement across a lot of the technical areas. When we look back in the 2017 JEE, so there are 5 levels of capacities: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and then level 5. We see now that about 50% of the 19 technical areas are level 3, compared to about 40% in the past JEE. So we've seen an improvement, but when you think about it, that there are 5 levels and 50% of our technical areas are in level 3, it tells you there's still more room for us to improve.
Patrick Avevo revealed that despite notable improvements across several technical areas, significant gaps remain, prompting the launch of a 5-year national action plan to advance Ghana's capacities toward 4 and 5.
But in the past, we've seen some lapses in this, which we hope that we can be able to work with the government to strengthen. So for each of the 19 technical areas, we are expected to look at where we are now and over the next 5 years, project where we want to get to, and then using the framework of the assessment document, determine that we need to implement 1, 2, 3 to get to a certain level. So they are very varied depending on the technical areas. If you're able to do this, you'll be able to, for example, move from level 1 to level 3 or 4. So those are some of the things that we hope to see on the ground.
The program is being rolled out at a time when Ghana's health system continues to face a complex disease burden, including infectious diseases, rising non-communicable diseases, and the growing threat of antimicrobial resistance. Officials say while the country is better prepared today than it was before COVID-19, sustained reforms and investment will be crucial to protecting public health in the years ahead. Health authorities say the success of the new program would depend on strong coordination, adequate funding, and political commitment to ensure Ghana remains prepared for future public health emergencies. Rodelin Abenses reports read to you.
To our first story now, Jubilee Field ended 2025 with an average daily production of about 59,000 barrels. This update was captured in Cosmos Energy's operational update for last year. We have details in the following report.
To some observers, an average daily production of about 60,000 barrels from the Jubilee Field after 11 years of production may not be good enough. However, players on the field are upbeat about production picking up strongly in the coming month. This is due to the fact that some new oil wells have come on board. Initial estimates project that daily production could reach 70,000 barrels well before the end of the year. The partners on the Jubilee field are also putting in place other measures that will help production improve significantly by the end of the year. Key among them is the Plan of Development Agreement, which is currently awaiting Parliament approval. Some of these partners believe it could also help in attracting fresh and significant investment into Ghana's oil sector.
Well, senior lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, Dr. Eric Boachi-Yadom, has expressed cautious optimism about Ghana's interest rate, stating that it will take a while before they begin to drop drastically. Dr. Yadom argues that while there are indications of easing inflationary pressures, the pace of interest rate reductions may be gradual. He spoke to Joy Business.
How long depends on the confidence that they have in the policy rate. That is why any policy rate that you are offering, it should reflect the general dynamics in the economy. But where there's skepticism as to whether indeed the rate should go down, because mind you, if rate goes down, then people rush to come for loans, and the rate go high again, it's likely to affect borrowers that may be doing a floating rate, So the confidence in the economy is what will cause commercial banks to be able to bring it down. Most often, the central bank may end up appealing to commercial banks to bring their rates down, but it's more of business, that you don't want to also bring it so down to a point where it may affect your general operations. So the wait and see attitude will continue to persist until a certain level of confidence businesses or commercial banks get that level of confidence they expect to see in the economy.
That's all in business updates, but we'll end with what's trending on the commodities market. After, we'll bring you the AM Sports. Do stay on.